Different living situations in San Francisco and why I don't talk about SROs. What up, YouTube? It's your boy Jermaine back with another video. This video, I thought I would make a sit-down video. Thought I would answer some of the questions that I've seen in the comments because, lately I've been making a lot of these videos showing off different apartments and condos in San Francisco. And when I go to the comments, because that's what I do, I go to the comments and check out the comments, I see two sides, okay? I see some people who are used to living in the Bay Area and people who are familiar with the pricing. They say, oh yeah, $2,500 a month for a 2-bedroom. Yeah, that's a good deal. And I would say that's a good deal as well, because I know last year the same place was renting for $4,500, or last year the same place was renting for $5,000 a month, and now it's renting for half price, right? So to me, that sounds like a really good deal, okay? But to a lot of people that don't live in the city or don't live in the Bay Area or never been to the city or never been to the Bay or never lived in the city, you may hear that pricing and you may say, wow, that is astronomical. Like, how do people afford that? Like, are you crazy? Like, that's so much money, $2,500 for a 2-bedroom. Yeah. Okay, so I thought I would make a video talking about how people afford to pay rent, because maybe you guys don't know, and I think maybe a lot of people in the city don't know, but I thought I would actually talk about this, and I also thought I would talk about SROs, okay? SROs is another cheap, inexpensive way to live in the city, and it's one way that I don't really talk about it as much, and I'll talk about it more in this video. But first off, to get this video started, okay, let's paint this picture here. Okay, you're delivering food for DoorDash, all right? You pull up to this building, okay? It's a fancy building, all right? It's 500 Folsom, okay? We're just gonna use it for an example. You pull up to this building, 500 Folsom. You're delivering sushi from the sushi restaurant. So you go over, you say, you go take the food over to the front desk. You say, hey, I need to go up to apartment such and such. They tell you, okay, we'll have the person come down. Well, this little young kid comes down, 20 years old, 22 years old, 24 years old. And, you give them the food. And then you walk away and you get back in your car and you drive away and you look at that building and you're like, wow, look at this big fancy building. And it's a luxury building because it says outside, it says luxury. It may even have the price outside. It may say starting at $4,000 a month. And, you get back in your car and you drive away and you look, wow, man, that girl lives here. She must be doing really good. Yeah, she must be doing really good for herself, right? Yeah, she must be doing really good. That's what it looks like, right? This guy lives in this fancy building over here. Yeah, he lives there. You see him come out every day. Yeah, he must be doing really good, right? Maybe, right? Okay, so some people they are doing really good. Yeah, you live upstairs. You live at whatever unit, it's $4,000 a month. And yeah, you just pay yourself, you just pay $4,000, right? But that's not everyone, okay? That's not everyone. This is how the picture is painted, okay? The picture is painted this way, but that's not everyone. In reality, you have a lot of packing the house going on, okay? You have a lot of packing the house going on. Now, there is this illusion that tech workers in the city, like just any tech worker, every tech worker makes a lot of money. Okay, now I'm not here trying to defend tech workers if you hate tech workers, but I'm just gonna say something here. That's not true. Okay, that's not true. Every tech worker is not making tons of money every year. Your senior developers are making $100,000+ a year. Your managers are making $100,000+ a year, but someone who's an accountant is not making 100 bands a year. Okay, yeah, you may work for, whatever tech company, but you're not making that much money. If you work for security at a tech company, you're not making 100 grand a year. If you're a cook at a tech company, you're not making 100 grand a year. If you are, if you're doing a lot of office jobs at tech companies, you are not making $100,000 a year. Okay? This is just the fact. There's a lot of tech workers that make $50,000 a year. There's a lot of tech workers that make $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. There's a lot of people in general who do not work in the tech industry, that live in the city, who don't make $100,000 a year. Okay, there's a lot of people here that makes $50,000, makes $60,000, $70,000, right? There's a lot of people that make $30,000 a year here. There are a lot of people in this expensive city right now that survive off of $12,000 a year. Yes. Okay, so let's get back to the first scenario of dropping off the Uber Eats food to the girl. Okay, so you're looking at this girl and you're thinking, oh yeah, she must be rich. Okay, in reality, what goes on in a lot of these buildings? Now, I can't say that this happens in every single building, but I've been around the city. I've worked for a lot of different apps. I've went to a lot of different places. I've worked for, like I say, lots of different apps, and I've went to lots of different houses to do lots of different things. And I've noticed that in some places, people are literally packing out the house. And when you pack out the house, you can bring that rent price down quite a bit. Now, for example, when I moved to this place that I moved to now, so I was looking for a place, and there was a lot of options. I could have took the SRO option, which I'll get to later in this video, but I didn't want to take that option. I wanted to, like find a cool place in a modern looking building, and yeah, I wanted to take that route. And this is the route, this is the place I found. And usually when you look for places like this, you can find places where people have converted certain rooms into another room. For example, okay, it may be a 2-bedroom unit, right? A 2-bedroom unit with a den. A lot of times people will literally convert the living room into a living space. People will convert the den into a living space. People will have the bedroom as a living space, and people also have the other bedroom as a living space, okay? So now this 2-bedroom apartment that's renting for $5,000 a month, okay? Now the rent is being split 4 ways, okay? Now the rent is not split 4 ways equally, because everyone don't have an equal square footage. Everyone doesn't have an equal place, okay? So this example here of the 2-bedroom apartment that costs $5,000 that you delivered the food to, the DoorDash, the sushi to the girl, and you thought she was rich, okay? In reality, okay, so at that unit, there's a master bedroom. The person in the master bedroom is obviously gonna pay more because they have the master bedroom, they have the private bathroom. Now, the people, maybe the person that has the den, maybe since the den is like sort of cornered off, maybe that person pays slightly more, okay? Of course, the person with the other private bedroom, they're probably gonna pay more than the person with the den. And then the person with the converted living room is gonna pay the cheapest amount, all right? So what do we have here, okay? We basically have a class system, all right? So you know how when you go to the airport, there is first class, right? There's business class, and then there's that little class in between, business class and economy. It's called flex, right? It costs a little bit more. And then there's coach class, right? So pretty much in a lot of these buildings in the city, and this was before the pandemic, this was when everything was good, a lot of these buildings were being packed out this way, because a lot of people don't just sit in the living room, especially if you are living in the city and you're out all the time. A lot of people just don't really care about coming home, chilling in the living room. They don't care. They'll just come home and like chill in their room. Like me, I just come home and like chill in my room. I could hang out in the kitchen, but why would I hang out in the kitchen in the living room when I can just hang out here in my own space? So, I mean, why won't we just rent out the living room and make our rent cheaper, right? This is what a lot of people do in the city. And believe it or not, this happens quite a bit. If you don't believe me, just go and look at Facebook Marketplace, look at rentals. You will find tons of people renting out living rooms. Totally get it. A lot of people don't want to live in a living room, okay? You totally don't want to live in a living room, especially for $1,200 a month. I totally get it. A lot of you guys may not want to live in a living room. Totally understandable. So let's talk about SRO. So an SRO is another type of living situation, and I've really never really talked about it here on YouTube. I've talked about it in a live stream, I think once, but if you didn't see that live stream, if you didn't see that random part of that live stream Well, you probably didn't hear about it from me. So an SRO stands for single room occupancy. And that is basically what it is. It's a single room. You rent like a single room. Usually there is a sink in the room and there's a mirror in the room. And that's about it. Some SROs have a private bathroom. A lot of them, you share a bathroom on the hall with multiple people living on your floor. A lot of them have shared kitchen spaces. Not all of them have shared kitchen spaces. Some of them do not have shared kitchen spaces. Some of them have, on-site washer and dryer. Some of them do not have on-site washer and dryer. You have to go and do your laundry yourself. SROs in the city can range from anywhere from $200 a month all the way up to like $2,000 a month. For example, a $200 a month SRO, you would have to be over the age of 60 to qualify for some of those. And you can find these SROs in the Tenderloin and also Chinatown. This is how a lot of people in San Francisco live, off of $1,000 a month or $12,000 a year. Okay, you're over the age of 60. All right, you live in an SRO, it costs $200 a month. You have $800 left over. You don't have a job, of course. Your job is to go to the different places around the city that give out free stuff. Okay, on Tuesday there's a church, they give out free food. On Wednesday you go get free popcorn from this other place. On Friday they have free coffee and tea and board games at this other place. On Saturdays you go hang out at the pool with all the other 60-year-olds. On Sunday you just hang out at home and get ready for the week, because you're just gonna do all the same thing over again because you're 60 years old and you don't work, and maybe you have to spend $100 or $200 a month on medication, or maybe it's covered with Medi-Cal. Literally people live off of $12,000 a year in the city, and there's also people that live off of $12,000 a month in the city. Okay, so other SROs that you could find. Soma has tons of SROs. Neighborhoods that are very, very big for SROs. Maybe I should point this out. Chinatown, tons of SROs in Chinatown. Tons of SROs in the Tenderloin, also near the Polk Street area. The Mission District is very notorious for SROs, and also Soma. There's lots of SROs in Soma. Now, there's lots of reasons why I don't talk about SROs. Number one, they're difficult to find. Okay, there's not like a website that I've found that I can just see like a list of SROs. They're mainly like random places that like you have to like know what you're looking for the most part. Now there is an app I can point you guys to if you are looking for cheap places to stay. I've never ever promoted this app ever on YouTube. This is not a paid promotion or anything. There will be a link in the description below if you want to click on my link. This app is called anyplace.com. You can use this app to find rentals for like 3 months or longer. Sometimes you can find rentals for 1 month. This is a very, very inexpensive app to use. You can find some pretty cheap places. I did look at 2 different SROs from this app. I'm not going to say the name of these SROs, but I believe that both of them are still advertised on anyplace.com. I will tell you guys the name of the street. It was Folsom Street. Just look on Folsom Street, maybe you'll find it. I did check out an SRO before I moved to this place, and when I checked out that SRO, the SRO was very, very tiny. Now this SRO was a little bit different. A lot of the SROs are just more like, they're not community based. Okay, there's not a theme to it. This particular SRO had a lot of young people living there. It had like a lot of international people living there. Well, I guess it didn't have a lot, because I did look at it about a month and a half ago, and we're in this middle of this pandemic, so like a lot of people had like took off and moved out. But this particular SRO, I remember last year this SRO was renting for $1,599 a month. So it was renting for $1,600 a month, and I didn't even go look at it back then, because I thought, wow, that's a lot of money. And I was just looking at the photos online and I'm thinking, wow, these rooms look really small, you know, for $1,600 a month. You know, the rooms look really small, but I kind of like the location because it was on Folsom Street and it was kind of in the mix of things, you know, if you know what I'm saying. Now, those prices have dropped from $1,600 to like $1,100. Okay, and when I went to go look at it, and I was totally down with paying, you know, $1,100 to live there, just because location. They also have a bike area downstairs, so I didn't have to worry about like taking up bike upstairs and didn't have to worry about leaving it outside on the street or anything. So I was totally digging this place until I went there and checked out the rooms. The rooms were incredibly small. What I mean by incredibly small, I'm talking about micro small. So basically, I can kind of give you guys an idea how small it was. So here, I'm in this room here, and I have just this twin bed. The rooms in that place were so small that like, with the twin bed in that room, it would be no way I could stick a bike in this room, and it could be no way I could stick a chair. Okay, and just look at all this other space I have, you know. I have lots more space. I even have a rice cooker back there on the floor for some odd reason. It doesn't work. I'm gonna have to like, I don't know, I guess recycle it or throw it away or something. But yeah, it's really, yeah, the place was really small, and that was like a huge deal breaker to me. I'm like, no way, man. It's like way too small. So the positive things about SROs, because I don't want to make it sound like SROs are bad or anything, but one good thing about SROs is everything is included. Okay, now what I mean by everything is included, so you just pay one price and you're done. You don't have to pay for utilities, you don't have to pay for internet, like everything's usually included. A lot of the managers keep the SROs clean. I actually tried to look for an SRO to show you guys online, but after calling like 2 places, it's kind of like something like I don't really want to do, because like when I show off the other places, the fancy places, like, you know, they take my ID, they sort of ask me a handful of questions, they sort of get to know me, and then they just let me roam around the building, right? But at SRO, they're not going to do that. They're going to be really strict. And if I straight up call them and be like, hey, I'm an influencer, yo, like I can get a whole bunch of your units rented, like I basically want to come and like make a video, like they literally won't even like let me even say any of that. They would already say no, basically. They're just like, look, pay us money or no, you know? So they're kind of hard to show, and they're very weird because they're only available when they have vacancies. And sometimes they have vacancies and sometimes they don't have vacancies. And when they don't have vacancies, it's kind of like, well, they just don't have vacancies. Like they can't help you. Like they don't have anything. But right now, I'm pretty sure a lot of places have vacancies. So guys, just wanted to make a video talking about sort of different rental situations in the city, okay? Everything you see is not gold, okay? Everything that glitters is not the real deal, okay? So whenever you're going out, you're delivering food to someone, and you think that this person is just doing so much better than you are, okay? They're just doing so much better than you are just because you delivered them, you know, a pizza that costs $30 and they're living in this fancy building. That just may not necessarily be the case. Like that just may not necessarily be the case. I have been to so many jobs where I had to help people move, and I have seen, wow, there are a lot of people living here, and I just wonder how much everyone's paying for rent. They must be paying like $500 a month in rent. Like for real, there's so many people living in this apartment. They must be paying like $500 a month in rent. Like straight up, like they all cook together. They all have these massive meals, right? So they save money on that. You know, I'm pretty sure someone in this freaking apartment has a car. So they probably save money on Ubers because someone's driving. Like, I don't know, like people work it here, yo. Like people work it. Like everybody is not paying $4,000 a month, okay? All right, everybody's got a different type of living situation, okay? People that are living here, they grew up here, locals, they're living at home, yo. Like everybody's got a different hustle, yo. Everybody's got a different one. So anyway, just wanted to make this video. I don't know if this video will help anyone. Maybe I answered some questions. This is kind of like a random freestyle video, but anyway, thought I would put this one out here. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks all for watching. Peace out, y'all.